Hello, it's Friday. Although it's still Tuesday for me. Anyway, right. One thing I said I was going to cover when I got back from my, what was started off as a week holiday but ended up being 2 weeks, was that I would cover Joy when I got back, because she's been doing a lot of live streams with RepC News lately over the last 2 months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about 2 live streams. One which was talking about her haters' reactions and things like that, which was a 20-minute video. And then the second is part 1 of a 2-part live stream where she defends her comments that she said to Kaylee on drinking MMS to cure her autism. So some of the stuff is sort of repeated, but she said some of it just to CJ, and then she said some of this directly to Carly, and Carly's like, So, excuse me. The second time she's done this, meaning she's been involved in live streams after she's left YouTube, she did this with the Voice. The last time when she deleted her first channel, and she went on and basically just shouted at everybody. Pretty much the same on this one. She said she was staying offline, but did an interview with RepC News even though she was staying offline, which makes no sense. She denies trying to ruin Rose Hall, but she actually did a live stream dumping all the evidence she had that Rose was taking money off people and using it for things that didn't have anything to do with the children, and that Rose was giving the money to her current boyfriend, and that he was spending it on alcohol and drugs. So you didn't try and ruin Rose, but you tried to ruin her reputation, which may have cost her children. Makes no sense. She denied filing a false police report. Now, there are 2 different videos where she files a police report, and I use quotation marks for a reason. We don't know if it's just her and one of her friends, or her and roommate, faking a police call. One which is with regards to the live stream she did with Jared, where she was laughing, she was baiting him, so he retaliated by saying, "If I ever see you, I'm gonna fucking kill you." Obviously he was upset because every time he tried to speak, she was going, "Oh yeah, word," and it's like, that would enrage anybody. Now if that was me, I would end the live stream and just send her a direct message or whatever, just saying, "Don't talk to me like that again. Next time we talk, I want you to be proper, I want you to be respectful, and don't talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old. He didn't, he just retaliated in the best way he knew how, which was to threaten her. And she then released a video where she rang the police and told them that she'd been threatened, but there was no proof that he was actually going to follow through, so the police report went nowhere. And then there's the time she did a police report about Shane because Shane was harassing her, but it was a joke, I guess. But some people could have taken that completely the wrong way. And if we don't know if either of those phone calls were real phone calls or whether they were ones that she'd done with friends, we just don't know. But from going off what we know, it is questionable. She says she's given Rose $1,700 from AdSense from the Daddy of 5 videos, but she cannot reprove that's all she made from those videos because she deleted a channel, oddly enough. And she also doesn't prove and doesn't provide proof that she actually sent Rose that money. We just have to take her word. This is something I have an issue with almost everything she says. She'll say, "Yeah, but I've done this," and it's like, where's the proof? And she doesn't show you the proof. Because I'll actually compare it to a different live stream that CJ did, and you'll see the differences. Health issues, I generally don't talk about health issues because I have my own, and I've just completely switched off on that front. When it comes to her fibro or the mental toxicity, I just switch off, because it's a case of I don't even want to bother, because she's like, well, I'm sick, and it's like, the only thing I will say on that is, if she can sit and do a live stream for 2, 3, 4 hours, then why can't she work part-time for 2, 3, 4 hours? I can barely sit through making a 20-minute video. She denies telling people, specifically Kaylee, to drink MMS, which is Miracle Mineral Solution, which is industrial bleach. Even though there are screenshots of her saying this, Joy claims that it was done in sarcasm, and Kaylee did offer to send me the tweets. What I will do is I'll leave her Twitter down in the description so that you can go and ask her for them yourself. She will probably more than likely provide them if they're not already on her Twitter. That some of the tweets sounded like jokes, some of them didn't. And the thing with Joy is, because we know she's taken hydrogen peroxide for health issues in the past, and because she's done alternative therapies, we don't know if she's being realistic, whether she's being sincere or sarcastic. When it comes to anything like hydrogen peroxide, bleach, turpentine and several others, you don't put them in your body because they are poisonous. She still has some New Age ideas, and that she's a spiritual seeker, and she says don't do something you're not comfortable with, which I actually agree. For those that don't know, I'm pagan, so I have weird beliefs anyway. But when it comes to me, I'm the pagan that's more science than spiritual, if that makes sense. But that's by the by. But I can understand her saying, I have my views, I have my opinions, I have what I like to do, but you do what makes you feel comfortable, not what I tell you to do or what I've done in the past. She called, this is one thing that really peed me off. I will link these videos up in the iCard for you as well, don't worry. She called RepC on an extremist because he came from a highly religious family, and when he first started off on Twitter he was highly religious, and then he sort of said nope. Which, he's not an extremist because he's not going around and bombing people, he's not going around and killing people. He was just very religious. He was a believer, he was completely enthralled and completely engrossed in the Christian religion, and then he saw the light and went, this doesn't make sense. Now, she literally used the word extremist, and that pissed me off. She also called him a hypocrite because of him being able to change his mind with religion, but saying Joy isn't capable of doing it due to previous belief system. Which, sort of, I agree with, but sort of don't, because the issue people have is the fact that she's saying, yeah, but I used to believe that, and it's like, yeah, but when people question you now, you go around the question, you never answer the question. You never say, I don't believe in drinking hydrogen peroxide, which is something I'll get to in a bit. I don't believe you should do this, I don't believe you should do that. She never says that. And that's where he has the problem. If she turned around and said, yeah, I've done this in the past, but I wouldn't recommend it, then he would be like, right, fine, done. Attacks RepC's credibility due to him selling pictures of his feet. Selling pictures of your feet has got nothing to do with whether you're a credible person or not. It's like, okay, you've got actors that are trained doctors. Two come to mind straight off the top of my head. If I was to be treated by either of those two, it wouldn't bother me. Even though they're an actor, they're also qualified doctors. You can't be... Yes, he sells some pictures of his feet for money, but he needs that money for tuition. She ignored the video and then stated that during then stated during the live stream she ignored the first video that RepC did. And then she stated that during the RepC live stream, a man debunked, which is JF, all of RepC's claims. First of all, he debunked some of the claims and some of the studies he actually quoted. There's some studies, which are the ones that he quoted, that do say that you can take Lyrica if you have heavy metal toxicity. And then there are studies that say the opposite, that Lyrica and heavy metal toxicity don't match. That there is a possibility of issues. So there's some studies saying one thing and some studies saying another. So he cherry-picked the ones that say there's no issues with it. This is also the same man who has been discovered to be of being inappropriate with underage developmentally challenged young girl. Now I think the young girl was something like 17 or 18 at the time, but she had the mind of a 12, 13-year-old, and he was in his 20s. So you're gonna say, oh, the first video was debunked by JF, but JF has a huge credibility issue because he has questionable judgment in his real life. She watched the second video, don't know whether I believe that or not. She accused RepC of harassment when she would tweet about him for hours and hours and he would barely tweet about her at all. Says that they had an agreement where if she put out her medical records then he would apologise. All she released was a medical record of all the symptoms that she reported to her doctor. She never gave letters out saying this is what you've been diagnosed with, this is what you've been found to have. We've never seen a letter like this. We've just seen letters with codes, which are symptoms and tests. She's never actually provided something that says that she has heavy metal toxicity and that she has fibromyalgia. There's nothing she's released with regards to that. And she said that apparently when she provided that proof, it's like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. And it's like, yeah, because what you provided isn't the proof that you're saying that it is. Says RepC's video on Joy are done for money, no shirt Sherlock. Anybody who does anything on YouTube that has the subscribers and that has monetization enabled does it for money. Would I love it if I made videos that made me money? Of course I would. Of course I'd love it. But my videos don't because I don't have monetization anymore. But at the end of the day, I do this as a hobby and to get my opinions on certain things out there and to help me navigate my own stupid, crazy life by switching off from that for a couple of hours a week while I do videos for you guys. And she doesn't fully seem to understand that. But yeah, she did YouTube for money. She only came back for money. She says that he did a video because Nick Monroe and Based Mama asked him to. Okay, where's the proof? Is it because of the or is it because of the money, or is it because he wanted to make a hit piece? Which isn't, because she says it's all three. One minute she'll say it's for money, next minute she'll say it's because people asked him to, and that next minute people will say no because he wanted to ruin me. It's like, yeah, but which one is it? Literally, which one is it? Now, that was a 20-minute video of her going off on things. Now we're going to get to the part one of a two-part video. I'm going to cover part two next week because that video itself is an hour long. And I can only take joy in small sections. This one actually has Kaylee involved. The people involved in this live stream are CJ, Joy, vegan student and Kaylee. Now, it starts off with Kaylee and CJ. And Kaylee says Joy told a young girl, which is Kaylee, that because she's autistic she should drink bleach. She should drink MMS, which is essentially industrial grade bleach. Most women also questions what spiritual solution is, because she also said you should try spiritual solution, but nobody knows what that is. Vegan student came on, and he says that he doesn't think Joy's racist because of the poo baby jokes, which I don't think she is, but I think that she doesn't realise how that can affect people. I'm of Spanish heritage, but I'm in the UK, where people of Spanish heritage don't have the racial issues that exist for people of Mexican heritage do in America, or Hispanic heritage do in America, because it's a different country, it's a different environment. I've never been treated badly because I'm part Spanish. I've never been treated badly because I have dark eyes, dark hair, dark skin. When it's sunny, it's England, and it's winter, it's bloody not sunny at all. So when you think of it that way, so yeah. Then Joy joins in the chat room, and then she says she wants to be added. Then she gets added, and the first thing she does is attack CJ. She says, I'm quiet, doesn't do videos or drama anymore, but yet she starts drama constantly on Twitter. She's constantly saying, oh, RepC's saying this, and Jeff Holiday's saying that, and this person's saying this, and this person's saying that, and this person's saying this. It's like, but nobody gives a flying fuck, because nobody is saying anything like that. It's like, yeah, but their people are attacking me, and it's like, where? Where's the proof? Show me the proof. She doesn't. She comes and berates CJ because he thought she cancelled because of the allegations he's going through at the moment. And she basically says, so you assumed? And it's like, because that's what I was told of multiple people. And she's like, yeah, but you assumed. And it's like, yeah, because I was told of multiple people that they talked to you and said to you, don't do this live stream, because it's only going to come back on you, because CJ's supposedly raped this woman and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and it bothered her that he made false assumptions about her, but yet she never clarified when he was saying that he thought it was because of the allegations. She never got in touch with him and said, it's not about the allegations, it's because I'm not well. She never said that to him. She just said that, oh, I can't make it, let's rearrange, which is 9 times out of 10 used as a, oh, I can't be bothered doing this, so we'll just, it's like, oh, fuck off. And that pissed me off, and it was like 20 minutes of a 40-minute video, and I'm not joking. That she left YouTube because she can't do what she wants, which I covered in the last video, because she wants to make certain videos, but because of the amount of editing and recording take her body won't let her, blah 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 blah, which is fine. But she can stand in front of a video. She can do more work in front of a video than I can. Blames everything on fibro. It's like, oh, I forget, and it's like I'm not even gonna go there. She continued to rant for 20 minutes. You assumed, and it's like, oh, fuck off. Went off on him, even though he had a reason to believe what he believed. Says she's not mad, but she sounded like she was pissed. Kaylee then confronted Joy about Joy's claims that she fabricated tweets and that she is harassing Joy. Joy initially ignored this to continue berating CJ. Then she says she doesn't know how to socialise. Joy told Kaylee she doesn't know how to socialise or is light. Now, I'm not sure what form of autism Kaylee has, but I think she has Asperger's, which basically means they don't have the social, their social interaction isn't the best. So, the message I sent were clearly sarcasm, Joy said. And he's like, oh, alright then. This is the same person who did a video that BuzzFeed had done, where she basically turned around and said, this guy's an absolute monster, this guy's an absolute prick, and it's like, the guy clearly has autism, the guy clearly has Asperger's, and she was basically saying he's a creep. Telling someone to drink MMS bleach to cure autism isn't sarcasm in any way, shape, size, or form. And I'm saying this because I have a cousin with Asperger's, and if somebody turned around to my cousin and said that, ooh. And then Joy just basically went in on Kaylee because she was calling Kaylee's friend a possible paedophile. And she was blatantly and very blunt about that. Now, she ignored Kaylee providing the age and dismissed that, because Kaylee said that the girl in question was actually 14 years and 9 months, and the man in question, which is Phildor the Wizard, or Philip as he was called in the video, he was developmentally delayed, so he was about the same age as the girl. Now, Joy claims that she has proof that Kaylee's friend is a pedo, and doesn't show it. There's a forum. Yeah, there's a forum that says that you're a fucking pain in the ass. There's a forum that says you lie about everything. There's a forum that says your family can't stand you. So should we believe everything that's on that forum? The forum that says that you're fabricating your entire illness. The forum that says your entire medical history is a bunch of bullshit. So, you know, there's a forum, that's not proof. Then she says, I'm not trying to argue, but she does. I said possible paedophile, she said, several times. While a 19-year-old is being with a 14 year and 9-month-old is a bit creepy when you look at the actual ages of the mental ages of those two people. Say the girl is mentally 15, it's only 3 months, so let's up her age to 15 mentally, and from what I've heard, Phildor the Wizard is developmentally delayed, so he's probably more at around about 15, 16, so they're about the same age. While I don't like the idea of a 19-year-old with a 14, nearly 15-year-old, it's in this instance because he's developmentally delayed to the point where he was being held back at school. My issues with it aren't as greater as they would have been with, say, the issue we spoke about on Monday with Romeo. Now, there was no sexual contact between Phildor the Wizard and this girl, apparently. So, and they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, when you're a kid or you're in your teens, boyfriend and girlfriend then, and boyfriend and girlfriend when you're in your 20s and 30s is completely different. When I was in, bear in mind, school over here is different, so I use American schools. Say if I was in kindergarten, junior high, or high school in America, I would be of a case of I could be boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody and I'll only see them for a couple of hours a day, maybe a bit of kissing, and then that's it. Doesn't need to have sexual contact for you to be in a relationship when you're that old. Joy's saying, yeah, but he's, you know, it's in a relationship, it's like, yeah, but you're projecting an adult relationship onto teenagers that might not necessarily be ready for that step. The girl might have said, no, I'm going to wait till I'm older, or the boy was like, I'm not going to do anything. But there is, from both her and him, the both parties of this couple have both gone on record and saying that there was no sexual contact. That most they did was kissing, and that was it. Joy also says, I don't like the fact that this 19-year-old is with this 14-year-old because he's got this hard dick and he can do things with it. It's like, yeah, but so are 13, 14, 15-year-old boys. Most boys go through puberty between 12 and 14. Some are a little bit later and it's 60. But for the most part, it's between 12 and 14. So most boys, the girl's age, would have been able to have sex anyway. Because most of them will have gone through puberty. So, and there's not much difference size-wise between a 14-year-old and a 19-year-old. A man doesn't become fully grown in that area until they're in the 20s. She gets pissy about people wanting to talk because she just wants to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And then when people try and ask her questions or try and give responses to her comments, she goes off on them. And it's like, Joy claimed to have spoken to the girl, but wasn't sure what was said because it's a secret. I want to respect her privacy, Joy said. It's like, so have you spoken to her and she's not told you what you want, so you're just going to ignore it? Or have you not spoken to her and want to make it sound like you are more important than you are? Doesn't like being told that because thinking there was no sexual content and she was developmentally delayed. Her claims are baseless, which they are. If he's developmentally delayed and there is no sexual contact, and it is your classic high school romance or middle school romance, then where's the issue? Where's the issue? There isn't one as far as I'm concerned. If he's developmentally delayed, which means he's not the mentally he's not the age that he is physically, and if she is developmentally a little bit older than she actually is, and that there was no sexual contact, and that it was your usual, you be my girlfriend, will you be my boyfriend? Okay. And then see each other for a couple of hours a day, and that's it. With no sexual contact. I don't have a big of an issue with that as I did with the issue that we had on Monday where these girls were sexting this guy and then this guy would sext them back when he was a celebrity and he was an adult and he should have known better. And this is an adult in his 20s, not a developmentally delayed 19-year-old. She gets the definition of paedophile wrong, because she was going to start defining paedophile. She said somebody that finds a 13-year-old, and then so many other things, and it's like the definition of a paedophile is a person who finds a prepubescent person, usually under the age of 13, sexually attractive. Now, considering that this girl was 14 years and 9 months, it's completely out of the definition of paedophile. She says you can consume hydrogen peroxide safely, which is food grade vegetable hydrogen peroxide, and says that it is safe if you use it the right way. However, it's an acid, it's a poison, it ruins your liver and kidneys, it messes up with your internal organs, and it would burn you from the inside out. She says she knows this because she's taken it. She says it's an alternative therapy, much like bleach, turpentine and black salve, all of which have issues. Every single one of them. Every single one of them is a poison. Every single one of them is an acidic poison that would cause tissue damage. And her saying, yeah, but, and then she doesn't understand that her experience with hydrogen peroxide is anecdotal. She doesn't understand what the word anecdotal means. Basically, me saying, well, I think black salve works because I had this spot here and I put it on and it got rid of it. That's anecdotal evidence. There is no studies anywhere that prove that hydrogen peroxide works for anything. There's no studies anywhere because they just don't exist. She said, I drank it and I'm still alive. She can't provide medical studies to prove that it's useful and safe. And she's saying, I've done it and I'm fine. Then, and I gotta love Kaylee on this one. Kaylee actually went on to Google and she found multiple studies where It isn't safe, can burn the insides people, and at least 5 people have died from consuming food grade vegetable hydrogen peroxide as an alternative therapy. But, you know, Joy says it's fine, which is where the issue that I had with the first one comes in, because she doesn't say to people, don't do hydrogen peroxide, I did it, it didn't work. She's like, well, I did it, I'm fine, so I don't know to see why other people shouldn't. Because it's a fucking acid, and it can burn you from the inside out. She calls blaming Fibro for forgetting how long she was consuming hydrogen peroxide for. She said it was 5 years ago, and Fibro made me forget. So it makes you forget how long you were consuming a very, very strong acid for that could have killed you. Okay then. Denies telling Kaylee to drink MMS to cure her autism. Bleach, hydrogen peroxide, turpentine, and black salve are 4 of the worst alternative therapies to ever exist, along with Jilla Juice and a few others. At the end of the day, the fact that Joy doesn't seem to understand why people have an issue with it is astounding, when there are multiple videos on this. Yes, there are RepC on 2 videos. I've done multiple videos on her. There are lots of people that have issues with it. My main issues are the fact that she says things like, I've used hydrogen peroxide and I'm fine. It's like, yeah, so you're telling people that follow you, well, if Joyce tried it and it worked and she was fine, then I can try it. And that she doesn't understand what paedophile is. She doesn't understand that somebody who's developmentally delayed might have a mental age of one thing but a physical age of another. She doesn't seem to understand the definitions of things like anecdotal and paedophile at all. And that she attacks somebody who is trying to help her because he was told one thing when she weren't communicating with him. But on that one, she said, I had to cancel because I weren't feeling very well. And then afterwards, because you were going off about this whole thing where you were saying I cancelled because of the allegations, and because people were telling me about the allegations, that's why I was a bit reluctant. And it's like, sorry, was sort of right. Part 2 of that live stream, which is an hour long, I will cover next week. I'm not going to do it this week because this video is already long enough. But there are multiple reasons why this girl makes me pull my hair out. And her stupidity and insanity is top among them. So, I'm going to come offline, do a few bits, and then probably crash because I'm at the hospital tomorrow. Oh, Joy. For too long. So stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you next week. Like I say, I'll cover part 2 next week, so wish me luck. Bye.